Today is April 14th, 2025, and you're tuned in to Furniture Industry News, your go-to source for what's happening across the furniture world. We're here to give you the need-to-know stories that impact your business, your customers, and the future of home furnishings. Whether you're on the retail floor, in the supply chain, or managing a showroom, let's get into what's moving the needle this week. Let's kick things off with the biggest headline shaking up the industry: the escalating trade war with China. Right now, things are heating up in a way that's leaving a lot of manufacturers, retailers, and suppliers feeling uneasy. The US and China are in the middle of a tariff tit-for-tat, and it's making everyone a little nervous, understandably. The ripple effects could be wide and unpredictable, especially for the furniture industry, which depends heavily on Chinese manufacturing. Bill McLaughlin over at Furniture Today laid it out pretty clearly. This could be one of the most consequential economic events we've seen in recent years. A lot of businesses simply aren't set up to pivot quickly if tariffs jump or if sourcing costs increase overnight. And it's not just about prices, there's a trust issue too. When companies can't count on stable, predictable supply chains, it makes planning nearly impossible. Let's put it in perspective. The furniture industry has been leaning on Chinese imports for everything from bedroom sets to case goods for over a decade. Suddenly, with tariffs potentially climbing much higher, companies are scrambling to find alternatives. But moving to places like Vietnam or India takes time, and those countries don't yet have the same capacity or infrastructure to pick up all that slack. Plus, labor costs are higher in some of those regions, so we're likely looking at increased prices no matter where the goods are coming from. And speaking of prices, consumers are already feeling the pinch elsewhere. According to a report from Chain Store Age, consumer sentiment took a major dive this month. The University of Michigan's index dropped sharply, landing at its second lowest level on record. That's not great news, especially when you consider that furniture is usually a discretionary purchase. If people are tightening their belts, they're probably not replacing their sofas or upgrading their dining rooms anytime soon. The reasons behind this drop in sentiment aren't all that surprising. Inflation worries are front and center, and now, with the tariff talk adding even more uncertainty, shoppers are growing cautious. When people are uncertain about their own financial future, they wait on big-ticket purchases, and we're already starting to see that hesitation in the data. Now, despite all the turbulence, there was a bit of good news tucked into last month's sales figures. March brought a small bump in home furnishing and furniture store sales. According to Furniture Today's retail analysis, the sector saw a 0.01% increase month-over-month and a modest 1.8% rise compared to last year. Sure, it's not a huge jump, but in this kind of environment, even small wins matter. The increase might be due in part to promotional pushes or early spring refresh shopping habits, but it also shows that there's still some demand out there. The key question is whether this momentum can last if consumer confidence continues to slip. Now let's pivot to the mattress category, which, interestingly enough, is still showing signs of strength. Home News Now shared results from their most recent survey, and 40% of consumers say they're planning to buy a mattress in the near future. That's a sizable portion of the market, and it's encouraging to see that even in uncertain times, comfort is still a priority. What's more, most of those buyers say they want to make their purchase in-store. About 72% said they plan to go into a physical store rather than buy online. That's a big deal for brick-and-mortar retailers. It means that despite the rise in e-commerce, there's still a strong appetite for the tactile, in-person mattress shopping experience. People want to feel the difference in firmness, try out the options, and get expert advice. That said, mattress retailers are still going to have to work for those sales. Comfort and durability are top of mind for buyers, but price is creeping back up the priority list. As inflation pressures linger and tariffs possibly add to costs, it's going to be critical for retailers to explain value and quality, especially if prices need to go up. And here's where smart marketing can play a major role. Another report out from Chain Store Age shared findings from a study on personalization in retail messaging. The results? Customers are paying attention, but only when the message feels like it's meant for them. In fact, 81% of consumers say they ignore messages that aren't relevant to their needs. That's a big number. On the flip side, 96% say they're more likely to buy from brands that offer personalized experiences. For furniture retailers, this could be a real opportunity. Whether it's recommending a sofa based on past purchases or sending a promotion just in time for a planned move, using shopper data wisely could help drive loyalty and repeat business. But it's got to feel authentic. Blanket promotions or generic email blasts just aren't cutting it anymore. Personalization can also be a powerful tool to keep customers engaged even when they're not actively shopping. Maybe someone browsed bedroom sets but didn't buy. A well-timed follow-up email with a special offer or a reminder about a financing option could be the nudge they need. In a market where everyone's fighting for attention and dollars, these small touches can make a big difference. Before we wrap up, here's the big takeaway from this week. The furniture industry is walking a bit of a tightrope right now. Between trade war uncertainty, shaky consumer confidence, and shifting buying habits, there's a lot to keep an eye on. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are still pockets of opportunity: in-store mattress sales, modest upticks in revenue, and the power of personalization in marketing. Retailers and manufacturers that stay nimble, communicate clearly, and stay tuned in to customer needs will be in the best position to ride out the storm. It's going to take creativity, flexibility, and a willingness to adjust strategies as the situation evolves. And that's it for today's episode of Furniture Industry News. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We'll be back soon with more insights to help you stay ahead in the furniture world. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.